158 days, 240 matches across 4 stages, and here we are, the first playoffs of the Overwatch League. But before the action heats up, here's how it will all go down. The top 6 teams in the standings will compete, with the winners of the Atlantic and Pacific divisions receiving a first-round bye. Each playoff matchup will be a best-of-3 match series, with each match being a best-of-5 maps. The quarterfinals kick off on July 11th at Blizzard Arena. The Uprising and Fusion will play their first match on Wednesday, followed by the Gladiators and Spitfire. On Friday, Boston and Philly finish their series, and the conclusion of the LA Gladiators and London Spitfire takes place on Saturday. Stay with us here, we know it's a lot to take in. Going into the semis, the remaining teams are reseeded according to the regular season records. That means the top-ranked NYXL faces off against the lowest remaining seed on Wednesday, July 18th, followed by the number 2 seed LA Valiant taking on the highest remaining seed later that evening. On Friday, the Valiant will finish their series against their opponent, and the NYXL will conclude their series on Saturday. The top 2 finishers will punch their tickets to New York to compete for over $1 million and the opportunity to capture history as the first champions of the inaugural season of the Overwatch League. Friends, it's time. Welcome to the first ever Overwatch League postseason map pool lottery. As you can see, we've got our lottery ball machine here, and all available postseason maps are written down on the balls. We're going to be selecting 9 maps for the use in the playoffs, and the map order for our best of 5 postseason matches will be Escort, Control, Hybrid, then Assault, Escort. And if a 6 tiebreaker map is needed, that's going to be Control. Let's get into it today because today's lottery will determine the map pool. We will select 2 Escort maps, 3 Control maps, 2 Hybrid maps, and 2 Assault maps. There's 1 ball with each of the 13 available maps' names on it. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Got to drop them in first. Turn it on. I'm trying to be like Mr. X here.
You're great at this.
I can do this, Matt, right?
We believe in you.
Already a winner.
Oh.
Dorado. Map number 1. Monty, what do you think of this first map?
I'm actually really excited about Dorado. I think it's one of the better Escort maps. We're taking a look at the playoff teams' win percentages. No surprise to see the Excelsior and the Valiant on top. Everyone else around 50% there. So not a whole lot of big advantages, honestly. Should be pretty even across the board. I like this map because you can do a lot on point A. We've seen Pharah attacks, double sniper attacks, Widow Brigitte defenses on point B after the initial most teams choosing to go with the Junkrat and Orisa. So it's a fun map. I really like this. A lot of diversity in terms of composition.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of Hanzo play on this map, I imagine.
I like it. First map, Dorado. Let's keep it rolling here. Second map for the postseason. Monty's gonna be happy with this one. Eichenwald in the mix. Castle.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. I was hoping for a Hollywood or Kings. I'll take Eichenwald as well.
Still
man.
a chance.
This is a really fun map because it's got that really tight choke to go through in point A. You can check out the win rates there. Ooh, Fusion's gonna be a little bit scared to see that map. Maybe that is not super great at 40% there, but this is a really fun map. Like we talked about, they've got that choke at point A. Another map we're probably gonna see a lot of Pharah on. I think Pharah is gonna be kind of the theme of the playoffs here, but you gotta take the point. I love point B because you've got this weird verticality to it. You've got those paths through the castle and all that. And then point C is just a grind too. So this is a map where each point requires kind of a very different skill set, and I love watching games like that.
Yeah, and we only saw it at one stage of Overwatch League,
That's right,
so it's exciting that we get to see it again.
Pretty pumped for that in the postseason. I'm feeling a Control map coming up next year, fellas. Woo-hoo.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
Oasis. Nailed it.
Nice catch.
That was incredible.
Unscripted.
That was awesome. I'm excited for Oasis as well. This is a map we've seen a
London
lot
fans
of.
just groaned. Oh boy.
This is probably the one map that London fans did not want to see.
Yeah.
Maybe it changes as we go into the playoffs, the postseason, right? Know some of the new balance changes that are going to come through. I think you'll definitely see a lot more Ryan Zarya. I think a lot with the theme of the first 3 maps we chose. A lot of Pharah here. And then I think, maybe we see some McCree, maybe we see some Dive still. I think Oasis is one of the Control maps that all 3 points are so different. They allow you to play such a different play style. I imagine we see a little bit of everything here.
Gesture, don't let that Orisa put you in the hole anymore. All right, let's keep it rolling.
Yep.
Make sure you're locked in there.
I was going to say.
Junkertown.
Ooh, Junkertown.
All right.
Oh, a lot A lot of people probably aren't going to like this one. I actually enjoy Junkertown because I think that the attacks on point A are very interesting. Fusion and Gladiators down in the bottom of the barrel, though, on this map. 2 and 8 for the Fusion is going to be, I think, a struggle for them. But I love the double sniper attacks. I like the weird things that we see, like all the Roadhog Orisa, the pirate ship, the Bastion. It is really different than most other maps in Overwatch because of that point A.
Plenty of Widowmaker, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you'll see a ton of double sniper on this map. It'll be interesting. I think this is the one map you probably don't see a ton of Reinhardt.
I think Carpe could help him get some wins for the Fusion on this map, maybe. All right, we are done with the escort map so far. So if we pull one, it's not in. Up next,
We did it.
Kings Row.
Hey!
Yeah!
All right.
Yes. I'm
That's
so glad
good.
Kings Row I can
And-
follow was what I wanted.
And the fan base rejoices. I'm rejoicing too. I love this map. Let's take a look at the win rates for it first. All right, Fusion again, a little bit shaky on this one. Well, a lot bit shaky. 33% for them. Of course, Excelsior's overjoyed with that one, man. 100% win rate on that map over the course of the season. That is actually insane. But this is like one of the best maps in Overwatch, right? Everybody loves this map. Point A has a lot of different ways you can approach it, a lot of different defenses you can set up on it. You've got this narrow sort of corridor, this kind of this mad dash, because when you get to point C, you're gonna need all the time you can get in the time bank to make it through this kind of narrow, windy corridor where the defense has a real advantage. So it's a great map to watch. It produces probably some of the most exciting games we've seen in Overwatch, and I think everybody's happy to see that one come back.
I want to see more Zarya, more Grav,
Oh, we'll see
more
plenty of that,
Shatters.
yeah.
Johnny's going to be a happy man as well. All right, so we're done with Escort. We're done with the hybrid. Let's see what we got left. Uh-oh. Watchpoint Gibraltar. Already done. Sorry, Gibraltar. Not this postseason. Let's keep it going here. Lijiang Tower, our second control map here in the mix. One of my favorites. This is going to be a good
same as
postseason.
this stage,
Yeah.
Oasis and Lijiang.
Yeah,
Same
pretty
as
much.
stage 4.
So I think you're going to see a lot of far like we did earlier. We
same,
can see some of the map win percentages here. This is a very good map for the Gladiators. Interesting, this is one of the maps that is not great for NYXL. We don't really see many maps where they have a losing win percentage on. I know a lot of the things they did in this stage are a bit questionable on this map, but I think, look, you see a lot of Ryan Zarya, a lot of dive on this map still. I think the way Hanzo plays on this map with the new Hanzo additions, I think some of the times where you would have saw Junkrat when you go inside a control center, I think you're going to see that you're going to see a lot more Hanzo instead of Junkrat.
Yeah.
Storm arrows for days, basically.
That's right.
I'm looking
Break those
forward to it.
shields. Yeah.
All right, we're down to the final 3 maps. Done with Escort, done with Hybrid. We just picked another control. Route 66. Out of here. Another Escort map.
Oh,
There it is.
I love this.
Numbani. Promise. Hybrid map. No luck.
You got this, Pocket.
I can do it.
No
Anticipation
assault
builds.
maps yet.
No, not at all. There's got to be one, right?
Volskaya
There you go.
Industries.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Mr. X, what do you think?
I like Volskaya. It's one of my favorite assault maps. I think if you were to ask me which one of my favorite, I would probably take Volskaya. We take a look at some of the map win percentages. We know how good the Boston Uprising is on this map. They're probably really excited to see this in the map pool. This is a map that for a lot of the season they were undefeated on. I mean, you can see they only have the 1 draw on their record there.
Yeah.
They're still undefeated. In fact, they have not suffered the defeat, only the draw.
A draw
Is not a loss. It's a not win. It's not a loss.
Yeah, sorry, doesn't go up.
I like this map because you do see a lot of the Widowmaker on point A and a lot of dive and like you have to really team wipe, team kill on point B. So there's a lot of Genji possibilities too on this map and should be interesting because we haven't seen it in the Brigitte meta yet, which also intrigues me.
And again, more Hanzo. Kind
And
of break
more
through that
Hanzo,
choke at
true.
point A. Probably going to see quite a bit of it.
All right, let's keep pulling here as we are down to just our final 3 balls, 2 maps to go. Hanamura.
All right, Hanamura. Well, let's look at these win rates again. Uprising. Ooh, we just talked about a map they like. Here's a map they're not going to be so thrilled about. 2 and 8 for the Uprising on Hanamura. They had a bit of a hard time on this assault map. Of course, everybody else kind of middle of the pack. Of course, New York doing well. But this is a map that I actually really enjoy. A lot of teams get stymied coming through the door at A, but we see a lot of fun stuff. We see a lot of Genji Tracer in here. trying to break through, pressure the point. We do see every once in a great while still the Sombra. Maybe a bit of that comes back, but I think this is another map that's going to be Hanzo's playground, right?
I actually think you probably won't see as much Hanzo here, especially on point A, because there's not really a great opportunity to use a Zarya grab. Everyone will play so spread out. I think you're going to see a lot of triple tank, triple support on point A here.
And also, Gladiators have showed us that the
There's a lot more that goes into the season.
Yeah, there's the Bastion May defense that we saw from them on point B to stop the triple tank, triple support. So I'm interested in this because I think it's still an evolving meta thanks to what we've seen from the Gladiators. Could be interesting.
All right, fellas, we are ready for the final control map. Looking for a control here. Monty, you're going to be pumped for this one again. Nepal.
Nepal.
Yes.
I'm excited to see Nepal.
What do you think of the final control
It's exactly the same control map pool we had for stage 4. I really like Nepal. I have to say, I wish that Oasis was the tiebreaker and Nepal was in the regular map pool. But, I mean, we've seen the Gladiators again, like on Lijiang Tower, do very well. Better map for the Excelsior. Boston still struggling a bit here, so. But we're probably not going to see Nepal in the playoffs, to be honest. It's so unlikely that in a best of 5 we would head into a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think when you look at the map pool as a whole, though, it's not really that great for the London Spitfire as a whole. I think you can see some interesting May Reaper compositions here, like we've seen from a lot of teams. I think Widowmaker on this map especially. I'm interested to see how much of the Hanzo replaces Widowmaker in a lot of these comps.
Well, the Fusion, too, had some very low win rates on some of these maps, and so I think that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. But again, as we got later in the season with Boston, even though they looked good on some of these maps, they did slow down a bit. So not sure they're going to have the same effect.
All right, well, I see what you did there. I see what Monty did there. All right, well, we have an awesome set of maps here. The playoffs are set. Our teams have just a few more weeks to prep, but that's going to do it for us here on the Watchpoint Show. Make sure you guys tune in for the first day of playoffs. It's kicking off July 11th on OverwatchLeague.com and, of course, your Overwatch League app.